这个世界有小心眼使坏的，不排除也有真傻的。万一他们一激动，真扑通跳到坑里了怎么办？美国会不会笑疯了？最近国际上最热的不外乎3件事：一，川普盟友科克大学辩论时被一枪毙命。
Only in America is it possible to say, you know what, I don't like the way the country is going, and to do something about it. Take that risk. Take that leap of faith. Stay involved. Trust God and act obediently. Romans 12:2 verse. That God will use all things, for good for those who love him. It's bigger than you. I want you to remember that. It is bigger than you. It's bigger than me. You are here to make somebody else's life better, the pursuit of liberty and freedom. You know what gives me strength? The hundreds of thousands of you that say, Charlie, keep going.
1 Corinthians 5 and 15. So that's all pretty amazing evidence, not just intra-biblical evidence, but extra-biblical evidence that Jesus Christ was a real person. He lived a perfect life. He was crucified, died, and rose on the third day, and he is Lord and God of the law.
2. 以色列六亲不认，突然袭击卡塔尔首都多哈。3. 波兰发生无人机事件，欧洲痛骂俄罗斯侵略。今天重点讲第3件，尤其是后续。欧洲痛骂俄罗斯，顺带也内涵美国。
Right. Numerous drones from Russia violated Polish airspace. Our air defenses were activated and successfully ensured the defense of NATO territory, as they are designed to do. The North Atlantic Council met this morning and discussed the situation in light of Poland's request for consultations under Article 4 of the Washington Treaty. Allies expressed solidarity with Poland and denounced Russia's reckless behavior.
美国，你好歹是西方老大，是北约盟主。在波兰和欧洲眼里，几十架俄罗斯无人机进入波兰领空，这是明晃晃的侵略美国。你不能装作没看见，你要有实际行动。但逼着川普行动，又不给美国钱，欧洲肯定踢到了铁板，特不靠谱，很不耐烦。9月13日，干脆在社交媒体上直接发了一封致北约国家和全世界的信。我看了下，川普果然不按常理出牌，这一怪招，感觉至少一箭3雕。公开信很啰嗦，但大致意思如下： 1. 川普对北约下了一个最后通牒，如果所有北约国家都停止从俄罗斯购买石油，那我们美国就对俄罗斯实施重大制裁。怎么制裁？没说。 2. 川普很惊讶，指责北约某些国家，你们还继续购买俄罗斯石油，这令人震惊，这极大地削弱了你们与俄罗斯的谈判地位和讨价还价的能力。请注意，你们。 3. 中国也躺枪。川普宣称，北约作为一个整体，对中国征收50%到100%的关税，将有助于结束俄乌战争。这种关税可在战争结束后取消。请注意，一张口就是50%到100%。4. 川普还骂拜登和泽连斯基，认为这是他们的战争，不是川普的战争，他只是来帮助结束战争，拯救生命。换言之，川普无责。5. 特不靠谱，继续骂北约，认为一切都听他的，战争将很快结束，否则你们只是在浪费我的时间以及美国的时间、精力和金钱。听不听川普？对比很强烈，您看懂了吗？我之所以说一箭3雕，川普确实是箭有所指。第一箭射向的肯定就是北约。川普很不耐烦，北约你们自己不破釜沉舟，还有脸来怪我没实际行动？为什么这次直接针对北约，而不是说欧洲？我理解，也有2个小玄机：一是波兰无人机事件后，北约在行动，北约在向美国施压，川普很不高兴；二是别忘了，北约盟国中还有土耳其，土耳其是购买俄罗斯石油的大户，川普把土耳其也拉进来了。明明知道北约做不到，但川普就故意恶心北约，故意向北约发最后通牒。国际政治有时候就像一场荒诞剧，有人负责写剧本，有人负责拆台，还有人负责在台下嗑瓜子看戏。第2箭射向中国，没办法，中国又躺枪，但这就是现实。事实上，按照此前的报道，川普多次要求欧洲国家，你们先对中国实施100%关税制裁，然后美国再跟进制裁。请注意这个先后顺序。这一次，川普好歹手软了一点，变成了50%到100%，还明确战争结束后可以取消。但欧洲人很愤怒，但欧洲人也不傻，这明显是给欧洲挖坑啊！ 所谓盟友，有时候就是你踩我，我踩你的跷跷板游戏，只不过谁先落地谁尴尬。为什么这里面没有印度？要知道，因为印度购买俄罗斯石油，川普已经将印度关税加到了50%。原因大概就一个，看到印度最近与中俄越走越近，川普肯定也在反思。反正我们看到，川普最近不断向莫迪套近乎，宣称两人是好朋友，关税可以继续谈，所以对印度狠插一刀后，美国又对印度扮笑脸了。国际关系中没有永远的敌人，也没有永远的朋友，只有永远的需要表演的友谊。第三件射向拜登和泽连斯基，即便得了癌症，拜登也逃不掉。反正美国政策出了重大纰漏，都是拜登埋下的隐患。国内反对派，你们别吵吵。对泽连斯基，川普一直非常不爽，有些感情动作是无法掩饰的。反正我们看到，对普京、川普多少很尊敬，从来不恶语相向，但对泽连斯基吹胡子瞪眼睛没商量，甚至还直接将他赶出过白宫。对于俄乌局势，川普现在肯定很沮丧。9月12日，在接受美国福克斯新闻网节目采访时，特不靠谱坦言，俄乌谈判暂停后，他有点失去耐心，成为他唯一没有解决的冲突。谁是罪魁祸首？川普说，这种事儿一个巴掌拍不响。他的原话是，要跳探戈需要2个人配合。令人惊讶的是，当普京想谈时，泽连斯基不想；当泽连斯基想谈时，普京不想。现在泽连斯基想谈了，普京成了未知数。川普都看不懂了，你们到底在干什么？怎么看？还是聊聊3点吧。第一，川普确实很无奈，别忘了他上台前就一再宣誓，上台24小时内俄乌冲突就会停止。200多个24小时过去了，冲突还在继续。哪怕特不靠谱，发了很多次最后通牒，跟普京谈了，跟泽连斯基谈了，谈完了一切继续，这样的绩效还怎么拿诺贝尔和平奖？更别提遭到全世界笑话了。所以川普很气，普京和泽连斯基，你们到底在搞什么鬼？所以他发了这封致北约也致全世界的公开信。但有时候发出最后通牒，不是因为你有把握，而是因为你已经没招了。第二，美欧裂痕越来越大，欧洲对美国的不满声音越来越响亮，尤其是在白宫坐完小板凳后，越想越来气。波兰无人机事件后，波兰更宣称，波兰目前面临自2战以来最接近公开冲突的局势，这都是要将美国拖进泥坑啊！最擅长挖坑的川普岂能不明白？于是眉头一皱，计上心来，以退为进，挖一个更大的坑。北约，你们有种先停止购买俄罗斯石油，你们有种先对中国加税，那我们美国就跟进，我们肯定能成功。皮球又踢给了欧洲人，土耳其这次也躺枪。联盟的真谛有时根本不在于能共进退，而在于觉得对方该先替我挡一枪。第三，好戏肯定在后头，不得不说，都不是省油的灯。我看到泽连斯基还在不断宣传俄罗斯是想要占领整个乌克兰，欧洲人则在不断暗示川普你完全被普京耍了，俄罗斯则保持战场强势，继续进攻，不手软，各方都不罢休，那好戏肯定在后头。美国以退为进，一箭3雕，不排除接下来还有4雕5雕的。跟美国斗，欧洲人感觉真够呛，手腕比不过，内部还撕裂，还要现投名状。国际棋局中，有人自以为在下棋，其实早已成了别人棋局里的卒。但中国多少也要提高警惕，这是欧洲的战火，与中国没任何关系。但架不住一些人总惦记着中国，总围绕着中国在挖坑，各种煽风点火不消停。这个世界有小心眼使坏的，不排除也有真傻的。万一他们一激动，真扑通跳到坑里了，怎么办？美国会不会笑疯了？这个世界很多国家走过最长的路，可能就是美国人的套路。
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us. Let me very quickly introduce our colleagues today. From the Marcin Kazmierski, Polish Director of International Security Policy. You will know the Minister, the Italian Minister for Defence, Guido Crocetto, the Secretary of State for Defence, John Healey, Jens Plotner, German State Secretary for Armaments and Innovation, and Alice Ruffo, the French Director of International Policy. Our session today, I'm going to ask each of them to do a short opening statement about what they have discussed today, and then it will be questions. We've agreed with some journalists which questions to ask. If we have a short amount of time, there are many trains to catch, so I hope to get through them all. Apologies if we don't. Two of our colleagues, Alice and Marcin, will not be taking questions as they are policy officials and not ministers. But without further ado, let me ask Secretary of State for Defence John Healey to begin.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. So today in London here, we held our 5th E5 Defence Ministers meeting at what has become a significant moment in European security. We face a new era of threat. War in Europe, rising Russian aggression, and last night Putin hit a new level of hostility against Europe. We saw across NATO's eastern border a serious violation of Polish airspace, deep enough for Warsaw Airport to be closed, and NATO jets shooting down Russian drones in what is the first defensive action of its kind since Putin launched his full-scale attack on Ukraine. And just at the same period as Russia's attacks on Ukraine intensify. And as the Prime Minister Starmer said this morning, these moves, he said, only serve to remind us of President Putin's blatant disregard for peace. So together, we, the E5, totally condemn these attacks. Russians' actions are reckless, they're dangerous, they're unprecedented. We see what Putin is doing. Yet again, he is testing us. Yet again, we will stand firm. And Defence Minister Kosiniak-Kamysz rightly returned home to Poland in the very early hours of this morning to deal with this unprecedented situation. We pay tribute to the Polish and NATO personnel involved in such a rapid and effective defensive action. And my message to Marcin and the Polish people is this. As your NATO ally, we will support you, our Polish friends. As your NATO ally, we will play our part to help secure the safety of your people. And following our discussions today, I've asked our UK armed forces to look at options to bolster NATO's air defence over Poland. Today, as E5 nations, we say to President Putin, your aggression only serves to strengthen the unity between our NATO nations. Your aggression only serves to strengthen our determination to stand with Ukraine. And your aggression reminds us that a secure Europe needs a strong Ukraine, and that the security of Europe starts in Ukraine. So I'm proud that the 5 of us were joined today by Ukrainian Defence Minister Shmyhal, as Ukraine remains at the forefront of our discussions. Following the Ukraine Defence Contact Group, which I chaired from London yesterday, with over 50 nations attended by Secretary General Mark Rutte and also US Secretary Pete Hegseth, we will continue to ramp up our support for Ukraine. Because we must not jeopardize peace by forgetting about the war, just as we plan for that peace through the UK-French coalition of the willing. And I know I speak for all of us when I pay congratulations to our good friend and colleague, Sébastien Lecornu, being named now as France's new Prime Minister. So in today's discussions, we also discussed our work together to counter Russia's malign influence in the Western Balkans. And in the week that our UK government published its defence industrial strategy, we discussed how we make defence an engine for growth across our economies. More cooperation, more joint production, more jobs in all of our communities. And we leave here today as E5 nations, Europe's top defence spenders, more united, more determined to confront this new era of threat, to step up further for Ukraine, and to continue to boost our defence spending as we increase warfighting readiness. We do this to make our citizens and to make Europe secure at home and strong abroad. Thank you.
Thank you, Secretary of State. If we could ask the Italian Minister for Defence, Guido Crocetto.
Sì, grazie. Grazie John per la tua ospitalità. Oggi a Londra ci siamo incontrati come nel formato E5, come ministri della difesa o rappresentanti dei ministri della difesa. Abbiamo iniziato condividendo.
Plotner to provide his opening statement.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon also from my behalf. First of all, Minister, I want to thank you for your warm hospitality and excuse the absence of Boris Pistorius, who would have loved to have been here, but parliamentarian duties required his presence in Berlin. I do not want to repeat what two ministers said. I fully agree with the points they made, but I would like to add my own and Germany's own firm condemnation to yours about what happened in Polish airspace last night. It is unacceptable. It is a targeted provocation. And it is a provocation not only against our Polish neighbors, friends and allies, but against NATO as a whole. We stand altogether firm side of our Polish friends, and I think the message we would like to send is a message of strength, of unity, and of not letting us be provoked into hastened actions. It is good that this is being discussed now at NATO, and this must find a common answer of all of us to Moscow. About the meeting today, the substance has been exposed. Let me say that I feel that today we send a message of unity in our support, steadfast support for our Ukrainian friends. It's a very good discussion with Minister Šmihal, but also a message of unity when it comes to our own efforts to bolster our defense readiness and to work closer together in order to do so. This group of five, the fifth meeting, has proven from our point of view to be a catalyst for new ideas and a motor of change. And somewhat in that spirit, I would like to, on behalf of Boris Pistorius, extend an invitation to you ministers, colleagues, for Berlin for the next meeting towards the end of this year. Thank you very much for your hospitality.
Jens, thank you very much. Alice Ruffo.
Thank you very much, Defense Secretary. Je vais dire quelques mots en français and I will switch to English pour vous remercier de la part de Sébastien Lecornu qui n'a pas pu être là parce qu'il est devenu Premier ministre, comme vous l'avez dit. Merci pour vos félicitations et vos encouragements. Thank you for having me in this very important meeting. My minister was committed from the very beginning to this format, and I like the words used by Jens. It's a motor for NATO, for our European defense. It's very important to have this room to discuss strategically and to have this impulsion together. I will as well add that what happened yesterday in Poland was totally unprecedented and unacceptable. As mentioned before, our collective answer was effective, and we need to continue to work together. And of course, France stands ready to support you, and we are as well looking options in a coordinated way on reinforcing your air defense. On Ukraine, I think we had in 1 week and a half the meeting of the Coalition of the Willing at the leaders level, the UDCG with successful and concrete results. And I think what we had as well today showed that Europe is stepping up, ready to support Ukraine in the short term, ready to offer Ukraine security guarantees for the future and to achieve peace through strength, and that now Russia needs to understand that it should come to the negotiation table and stop this war. Thank you as well for the very good discussion on industry. We all are in face of the same issues, ramping up, accelerate, and I'm sure that we want to strategize on this region because we are very much committed through NATO and EU and bilaterally to the stability of the region. Thank you very much.
Alice, thank you very much. Marcin Kazmierski.
Thank you very much. And as you just heard from the Defense Secretary Healy, the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of National Defense had to leave, unfortunately, had to skip the second day of the meeting due to the attack. I think it is the best way to describe it, the drone attack that took place last night. Over the meeting, we confirmed the importance Poland attaches to the E5 format as a platform for discussing issues of great importance for the European security, transatlantic relations. The war or the Russia's aggression of Ukraine and support or assistance for Ukraine. That was definitely confirmed. This is something that we want to, as a Poland, develop as I just said, as a platform for not only discussing things, but also looking for specific initiatives in the areas I just mentioned. When it comes to what happened over Poland last night, as you just heard, solidarity was expressed, conviction that we need more as an alliance, as a NATO. We need more coherence, more unity, that we should look also in practical terms how to make not only Poland but all the flank countries better able to cope with the threats we had to cope with last night. And as it was also already mentioned, the response was collective in a manner, not only Polish assets, Polish aircraft, but also those of some other allies were involved in it, activated or used. And it is the best example of solidarity, of unity. And we, as a Poland, we want to discuss, we would like to discuss this issue further within the NATO framework to be sure that we as a NATO, that we are able to that we will be able to, in the future, to respond to such threats in the best possible way. Thank you very much.
Marcin, thank you. Just a reminder, Marcin and Alice will not be answering questions, but the ministers will. Carl Dinnen.
Thank you very much. Carl Dinnen from ITV News. I'd like to ask the ministers, don't last night's events prove that